In the world of business, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. Some companies will go to any lengths to gain an advantage, engaging in corporate espionage to steal trade secrets, outmaneuver rivals, and dominate industries. Welcome to the high-stakes world of corporate intelligence battles, where data is stolen, insiders are bribed, and cyber warfare is the weapon of choice. This isn't just a scene from spy thrillers, it's a real-world conflict fought in the shadows of global business, where the stakes are higher than ever. Illicit espionage can make or break companies, destroy reputations, and shift the balance of power in entire industries. But what is corporate espionage actually? Corporate spying is the illegal practice of stealing confidential information for an unfair advantage, whether through hacking, bribery, or insider leaks. With billions on the line, the question is, how far will companies go to get ahead? And what happens when they get caught? In today's interconnected world, this covert war isn't just about sneaky spies and shadowy figures. It's happening in boardrooms, across computer networks, and even in plain sight, under the guise of business tactics. Let's dive deeper into this high-stakes world. The origins of corporate spying. Let's take a step back and explore how trade secret theft started. Stealing information has existed for as long as there has been power to protect. But when money became the most powerful weapon in the modern world, spying didn't just stay confined to government offices, it infiltrated corporate boardrooms. Companies realized that knowledge was the ultimate currency. In the 18th century, one of the earliest known cases of industrial theft happened when Francis Xavier d'Entrecoll, a Jesuit priest in China, smuggled out the secrets of silk making, breaking China's monopoly and reshaping global trade forever. He secretly gathered the knowledge of how to cultivate silkworms and produce silk fabric, bringing it back to Europe. By the time the European world learned the secrets of Chinese silk, it was a game changer for the global economy, leading to the rise of the textile industry in Europe. This marked the beginning of a new era of global trade, where the power of technological knowledge would become a critical currency in shaping the future of industries. Fast forward to the 19th century, and covert tactics became more organized as industries evolved. As the demand for industrial goods increased, nations became more protective of their technologies and secrets. John Holker, a British industrial spy, infiltrated American factories to steal blueprints, giving Britain the upper hand in the textile industry. This helped Britain maintain dominance in manufacturing, while the US worked to catch up. The success of Holker's espionage eventually led to the US passing laws to protect its industrial secrets, an early skirmish in the ongoing trade wars that still shape global economics today. These early acts of corporate espionage set the stage for more sophisticated methods of stealing intellectual property in the coming centuries. The rise of modern corporate theft. As the Industrial Revolution accelerated, illicit corporate tactics became even more high stakes. The world was becoming increasingly interconnected, and businesses began to realize that securing an edge in global trade meant protecting their innovations at all costs. By the 20th century, it wasn't just about stealing blueprints anymore. It was about acquiring corporate strategies, chemical formulas, and cutting-edge technological breakthroughs. With global competition intensifying, companies knew that a single leak could mean the difference between domination and downfall. The stakes grew higher as businesses understood that their survival could depend on maintaining a technological lead in an ever-evolving marketplace. One of the most famous cases occurred in the 1980s, IBM versus Hitachi. Hitachi, a rising tech competitor from Japan, got its hands on IBM's top-secret documents through insiders, employees who were bribed with luxury perks to leak information. These stolen documents, which contained critical information about IBM's computer designs, allowed Hitachi to leap ahead in technological innovation. Hitachi's rapid rise was no coincidence. The scandal made it clear, sometimes the cost of getting caught was lower than losing market share. This was an early sign of how global tech giants would wage silent wars using underhanded competition as a tool. The case also highlighted the increasing importance of trade secrets in an era where technological advancements were the keys to market success. The IBM Hitachi scandal was a turning point, proving that trade secrets had become one of the most valuable assets in the corporate world. But as technology advanced, so did the methods of espionage. What once required insiders and physical documents soon evolved into something far more elusive and dangerous. With the rise of the digital age, corporate spying moved beyond boardrooms and briefcases. It entered cyberspace. The cyber age of trade secret theft. Fast forward to today, and covert business wars have evolved into a digital battlefield. As the world became more digitized, the methods of stealing trade secrets adapted to the changing landscape, making espionage even more difficult to detect and defend against. With the rise of the digital age, stealing corporate intelligence entered a new phase: cyber warfare. Forget trench coats and shadowy figures. Today, sophisticated hacking operations are the new normal. Companies, as well as entire governments, began to realize that in the digital world, their trade secrets were vulnerable to attacks from anywhere, anytime. One of the most notorious cyber attacks was Operation Shady Rat, uncovered in 2010 by cybersecurity firm McAfee. Over 70 organizations, including Fortune 500 companies and government agencies, were targeted by hackers suspected to be from China. These hackers used advanced malware and phishing tactics to infiltrate systems and steal sensitive information without leaving a trace. This wasn't just a breach of security, it was a data heist designed to steal everything from cutting-edge technologies to national secrets. The scale of the attack shocked the world, making it clear that digital espionage was no longer just a threat. It was a sophisticated global operation, impacting businesses and governments alike. And in 2014, Chinese hackers infiltrated U.S. steel systems and stole critical trade secrets. Within months, China's steel industry began undercutting U.S. steel's prices, costing the American giant millions. The stolen information allowed Chinese producers to lower production costs, offering cheaper steel to global markets. This wasn't just about accessing confidential data. It was about gaining economic dominance, proving that corporate battles had fully moved into the cyber world. It also revealed how digital espionage could be used to reshape entire industries by giving one side an unfair competitive advantage. The stakes were higher than ever, and the boundaries of warfare had been blurred, with economic battles now taking place in cyberspace. The DuPont scandal, a betrayal from within. Let's dive into a case where insider threats proved to be a company's worst nightmare. The DuPont case, a billion-dollar heist in the chemical industry. In 2011, DuPont, the leader in the $17 billion titanium dioxide market, experienced one of the most devastating corporate espionage incidents in history. Walter Liu, a businessman linked to Chinese firms, orchestrated a scheme to bribe DuPont engineers for the company's highly coveted trade secrets. With this stolen knowledge, Chinese firms quickly ramped up their production of titanium dioxide, undercutting DuPont's prices and rapidly gaining market share. Although Walter Liu was caught and sentenced to 15 years in prison, the damage was already irreversible. DuPont's once secure dominance in the market was shaken, and China's titanium dioxide industry was propelled to the forefront. The case illustrated how a single act of corporate espionage could cost a company billions, turning years of innovation and expertise into a vulnerability. As industries became more dependent on digital infrastructure, the risks of espionage grew exponentially, affecting not just companies but entire economies. And sometimes, the biggest threats didn't come from outside forces, but from within. This was exactly what Renault learned the hard way. The Renault spy scandal. When paranoia becomes self-destruction. In 2011, Renault, a company on the cusp of releasing groundbreaking electric vehicle technology, was rocked by a dramatic internal crisis. The company received an anonymous tip claiming that 3 senior executives were leaking trade secrets to China. Fearing espionage, Renault immediately suspended the executives, launched an internal investigation, and even called upon the French government. With global automakers locked in an intense battle for EV dominance, Renault couldn't afford to take any chances. However, the entire affair turned out to be a false alarm. The accused executives were completely innocent, and there was no evidence of espionage. Renault's reaction, driven by paranoia, resulted in public humiliation, a damaged reputation, and internal chaos that shook investor confidence. While they spent months embroiled in scandal, their competitors seized the opportunity, pushing forward in the race for electric vehicles and leaving Renault behind. The episode highlighted the dangers of corporate mistrust and how paranoia could be just as harmful as actual espionage. In the world of high-stakes business, making the wrong accusation can sometimes be more damaging than the crime itself. Boeing versus Airbus. The war for the skies. The rivalry between Boeing and Airbus escalated into one of the most high-stakes corporate battles in history. In the early 2000s, Boeing was caught bugging Airbus executives' conversations, sparking a scandal that revealed just how extreme corporate intelligence tactics could become. But this was only the tip of the iceberg. Both companies engaged in aggressive lobbying, sabotaged contracts, and accused each other of corruption, each aiming to gain a competitive edge in the aerospace industry. With billions of dollars in government contracts at stake, both companies knew that even the smallest advantage could translate into massive financial rewards. The fight between Boeing and Airbus wasn't just about airplanes. It was about who would control the future of global aviation. Their bitter rivalry spilled over into trade wars, with each side accusing the other of receiving unfair government subsidies. The scandal underscored the intense lengths to which corporations are willing to go in the high-stakes war for market dominance, showing how corporate espionage often becomes central to the battle for industry leadership. While passengers may only see the logos on the jets, behind the scenes, a ruthless economic war is being fought in boardrooms, courtrooms, and even government halls. This wasn't just intelligence gathering. This was a battle to control the future of air travel. The shadowy world of corporate spying. So, what's the takeaway from all of these stories? Illicit corporate tactics aren't just a game, they're a war. It's a ruthless pursuit of power and profit, where billions are won or lost, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Whether it's stealing cutting-edge technology or sabotaging competitors, underhanded tactics have become an integral part of the global business landscape. The companies that thrive aren't always the most innovative. Sometimes they're just the best at outmaneuvering their rivals behind the scenes. As the world becomes more interconnected, cyber warfare is poised to be the next battlefield. With digital theft becoming easier and more pervasive, these high-stakes business battles will only escalate in the years to come. From stolen AI research to hacked corporate databases, the fight for dominance is moving from boardrooms to cyberspace. The question now isn't if companies will engage in corporate espionage, but how far they'll go to stay ahead. So, next time you hear about a major corporate scandal, ask yourself, was it really innovation or was it stolen strategy?
Now, we want to hear from you. What topic should we cover next? Drop a comment below and let us know which corporate scandals, financial mysteries, or business rivalries you'd love for us to explore. Thanks for watching Money Files. We'll see you in the next episode.